Mr. President, it is my privilege to deliver a joint statement on behalf of India and Sweden on this important issue. We would first like to pay tribute to the tens of thousands of UN humanitarian and medical personnel around the world who have been at the front lines of a joint response to the COVID-19 pandemic, often at immense personal risk and sacrifice. India and Sweden share a strong commitment to strengthen the UN system to respond to the complex humanitarian challenges of our time. The humanitarian crises of today are more complex and protracted and place higher demands on the international community. Greater coordination and complementarity in action among various humanitarian actors is therefore crucial. The latest Global Humanitarian Overview report, released just a few days ago, is a sobering document. Humanitarian emergencies, primarily driven by natural disasters and armed conflicts, but compounded this year by the pandemic, have reached a new high. The pandemic has triggered the deepest global recession since the 1930s. Extreme poverty has risen for the first time in 22 years. The unemployment situation globally has worsened. Women and young people aged 15 to 29 working in the informal sector have been hit the hardest. Almost 24 million children, adolescents, and young people are at the risk of not returning to school, including 11 million girls and young women. The UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs estimates that in 2021, 235 million people will need humanitarian assistance and protection. This essentially means 1 in 33 people worldwide. The UN and its partner organizations aim to help about 160 million people across 56 countries. This itself will require approximately $35 billion, the highest ever humanitarian funding requirement. The persistent shortfall in financing humanitarian appeals remains a challenge. We call upon member states to consider increasing their contribution to UN humanitarian assistance system, including the Global Humanitarian Response Plan for COVID-19, country-based pool funds, and the UN Central Emergency Response Fund, to which both India and Sweden are long-standing donors. We would also like to emphasize the value of non-earmarked flexible funding and predictable support to our humanitarian partners. Mr. President, India and Sweden reaffirm that humanitarian principles and international law provide the basis for humanitarian assistance. We remain committed to preserving the principles of humanity, neutrality, impartiality, and independence in responding to all humanitarian situations. Mr. President, guided by its ancient philosophy of viewing the world as one family, India has been at the forefront of supporting fellow developing countries through assistance and relief efforts in humanitarian emergencies, including natural disasters. These efforts have ranged from immediate supply of relief materials to emergency evacuation of very large numbers of people of various nationalities from affected zones. During the unprecedented COVID crisis, India emerged as a net provider of health security and successfully shouldered its responsibility as the pharmacy of the world, sending consignments of medicines and medical supplies to over 150 partner countries. As a responsible member of the world community, India's vaccine production and delivery capacity will be deployed to help all of humanity in fighting the crisis. Going ahead, we need to look beyond immediate relief and rehabilitation. India remains committed to address the challenges of complex humanitarian emergencies through building disaster-resilient infrastructure. It is in this context that India has taken the initiative to launch the Coalition for Disaster-Resilient Infrastructure in partnership with several other countries during the 2019 Climate Action Summit. In the face of the unprecedented increase in humanitarian needs largely linked to the COVID pandemic, Sweden has responded and acted swiftly. Since the beginning of the pandemic, the Swedish government has provided close to $200 million of additional unearmarked humanitarian funding. Sweden is proud to remain one of the largest donors of the UN humanitarian system. In line with its grand bargain commitment, Sweden will continue to provide major UN agencies such as the World Food Programme, UNRWA, UNHCR, UNICEF, and CERF with multi-year core funding. The COVID-19 pandemic has clearly demonstrated the importance of flexible humanitarian funding. It allows for timely, independent, effective, and efficient humanitarian action, and that is why Sweden strongly believes that this is the right path to pursue and encourages other donors to follow. Sweden and India remain particularly concerned by the impact of the pandemic on hunger. The award for this year's Nobel Peace Prize to the World Food Programme is highly deserved and constitutes an urgent call to action with increasing hunger and several countries now on the brink of conflict-induced famine. The cycle of conflict and hunger recognized by the UN Security Council Resolution 2417 must be broken. Sweden is proud to be a key partner and top donor of the World Food Programme and has topped its funding to WFP to record levels to contribute to the fight against hunger across the globe. Mr. President, the creativity and magnitude of our response must match the unique nature of the challenge. The choices we make now will determine how soon we build back better from the crisis. We, India and Sweden, reiterate our commitment to work with all member states to ensure a unified and robust response to the world's humanitarian challenges. Our debate today presents an opportunity to send a strong and unified message of support to those in need of humanitarian assistance and to humanitarian actors worldwide. We therefore call on all delegations to adopt the 3 draft humanitarian resolutions by consensus. Thank you.